Yay, I am live here and I am at Ellie's today. Sipping on some really delicious mint hot tea. Really good. I was originally going to the golf course, but the room was not ready for me, so I came here instead, and I actually got pulled over on the way here, and the cop that came to the window was like, "Is that the queen?" I was like, ah. I still like smiling really a lot because of that. Not only have I had that cop say, call me the queen, but before when I was setting up on the mountain, I've had some Forest Service guys like, "Hey, there's the queen," and I look up and it's them. And I'm like, "Yay, everybody's calling me their queen." Okay. Anyways, I am really excited today and wanted to. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Wanted to first talk about the Simul with Steven because that's pretty much what I am focused on in my chess group here. Let me give you the link, if I may. Too many tabs here. There's a little bit of drama going on this morning. Simul with Steven. Okay. Anyways, I can't exactly talk about all of the games that are going on because they're still active, but I can say one fond memory that I've had so far. Obviously, I'm enjoying the games, but Akshar is the other admin and the creator of the group, the chess group that this is all partaking in. And happy birthday, by the way, Akshar. You make me feel really old. Anyways. I'm only 28, but he's younger than me, so it's like, oh man. Anyways, my point was that he's like the only one that I can actually discuss what is happening in any specific games. Hey Sage, how's it going? And not yesterday, but the day before, I totally nerded out on him, and like, if you don't know anything about chess, you will just, if you hear somebody talking in chess, if you will, you're going to just look at them like they're a malfunctioning computer. Like, are you okay? They won't even know what you're saying. But if you are a chess player, then you can not only understand it, but also appreciate the chess language. Hey, Expat, and how's it going? Hi, Queen, and everyone. Just out walking in nature, going for 10 miles mountain walk. Wow, that is amazing. Anyways, so I basically spelled out a line that I saw happening in one of the games, and basically I was like, I don't want to actually say any of the actual moves from any games because Sage, who seems to like the drama in Discord? What are you talking about? Yeah, I was just basically like, if ND2, then BC7, like, I'm just making up random moves because I don't want to say anything about the current games going on, but I basically just laid out like all of these moves. I'm like, that would be such an exciting game to watch. So we'll see how it all unfolds. Akshar is often in here, I guess. He's probably sleeping because he's in India, so it's late for him, like 12 a.m., maybe even 1 or something. I'm not sure. Oh, Akshar likes the drama in Discord. That's funny. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of drama going on lately, and I'm just sipping my tea and trying to play chess and watch chess happen and make chess happen. Many of you already have heard me say that I am having a chess tournament on the 21st, a knockout chess tournament, 5-minute blitz at the Fall River Brewing Company in Reading, and I'm super excited about that. But I'm also planning a 5-minute blitz tournament for my birthday, September 17th in Mount Shasta City Park. I think I'll do 12 to 6. It's all about the blitz. And I will, of course, be bringing a buffet of vegan food to share and putting up a cash prize. And yeah, that'll be really exciting to see. That's what I want on my birthday, to see men play chess for me. Sage said, We played chess and music all night. Oh, with the Flat Earth guy in Discord, or with Akshar? Expat Man says, in chess, the queen is the most powerful piece. Well, she can go any which way she wants, however many squares she wants. Like, yeah, pretty powerful. There's no other more powerful piece. So, like, just, anyways. Robert says, I'm a drama killer. Okay. Well, we can definitely use some of that around. But then again, humans and others like drama. I mean, why are all these reality TV shows popular if humans don't like watching drama, right? I personally would rather just not have it and have everything go smoothly, of course, going my way. But that can't always happen, unfortunately. Hey, Steven, how's it going? Hello, Anana. Love and light in happenings. Struggling as norm to connect. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, thank you for joining anyways. And hey, Kyle, how are you? I just mentioned about my birthday blitz bash. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come up with another fun name, but I'm gonna probably play on these bees. But I'm really excited, and Kyle is planning to come out again to Mount Shasta to visit for that. So that's pretty cool. What do you call the horizontal move thing when you switch the tower and king? A castle? Yeah. Castling. A lot of people are trained, well, most people, the majority of people are trained to castle quite early to the beginning, and I usually try to punish them for it because you just force your king into the corner, and now the poor guy has nowhere to run, and so, just really, you probably shouldn't talk too much about chess while I have the tournament going on, but yeah. His name is Apocryphon, and he said he was tied at first place for accuracy before he played me. Oh, wow. He was mad at me for beating him. He said it put him down in third. Wow, that's impressive, Sage. By the way, it is your move in the Simul. We are waiting. Just messing. We don't want anybody to feel rushed. It's definitely not worth rushing. There is no rush. I thought castling protects king usually. Well, that is the idea. And usually if I am, if my enemy's forces are all aligned on the left side, I'll castle on the right. So I usually personally leave castling for towards the end of the game, if at all. Sometimes it's better to connect your rooks by just moving your king up onto... Sage, I'm not going to comment on any specific thing, but I am looking forward to seeing how the games go. But yeah, very excited about that. So that's pretty much it for chess for now. I'm kind of sad that Akshar's not here because I wanted to say happy birthday to him. Oh well, he'll come later. Another thing that is going on around Facebook in the truther community, like every other post now, is about Brittney Griner. For those of you who don't know, Brittney Griner is a basketball player in the WNBA. Most of us already know that the WNBA, the WNBA is males and the NBA is females, right? We live in an inverted world where literally all of these stars from basketball to football to even chess, like all of the top stars that we are given to be influenced by, to be our role models, they're all inverted clowns. Like, there are no exceptions. So if they are popular and the most famous and promoted, they're inverts. And I would definitely encourage you, especially when it comes to the supposed girls that you're lusting after, make sure that you go and try to find pictures of their actual flaring hips, because they're all dudes in drag, which is one reason why I'm always showing off my beautiful female flaring hips. So yes, anyways, back to Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner is a male. There's even pictures of him shirtless going around saying, like, isn't she supposed to be a female? Like, with no chest, just a man's body, right? It's a total psyop. Putin is a female. So the characters involved, like, anything you see on mainstream media is just a psyop for your attention, for a distraction, to manipulate us, to influence us and corrupt us, right? They put these entities on stage so that, I don't really want to say monkey see, monkey do, but that's what it is, right? Like humans see these characters on TV and then they want to be like Kim Kardashian. They want to be like, I wanted to say something I shouldn't say. They want to be like Brittney Griner. No, I don't think, I'm not convinced that anybody in the world wanted to be like Brittney Griner. But then again, they were, growing up, I come from a really athletic family. I'm very competitive myself. And so these big names in basketball and stuff, I grew up hearing the name Brittney Griner. So it's kind of interesting that he's in the news now with all of this. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. With all of this nonsense going on. But yeah, it's just one thing after another in the media, one psyop after another, and just turn the TV off, okay? If it's on mainstream media, it is not real. When you have like a local news, occasionally, they go out to cover high school basketball or high school sports or like local things. In there, you will find some humans, but the further up it goes, Fox News and NBC and CNN, all of these, they're all inverts all of the time. Like, you don't get to be the most famous in Satan's world without being an invert. And it's all about programming and corrupting us. Ultimately, corruption. Sage says, happy birthday to Akshar. Sending Akshar the best birthday wishes. Yes, sounds like he had quite a few fun plans to do today. So I hope that he has a wonderful day. And I'm just still smiling about that conversation because I've never really talked to anybody like in chess lingo before. And I personally find it very attractive when it's done. So it's just like I'm kind of like blushing. Anyways, hi Migwy Pop, how's it going? Hopefully you are doing well, and let's move off of the topic so that I don't keep turning more than I wanted it to not be having people watching me. I wanted it to, ex-Pac-Man, thank you for bringing that up, because that's the other thing that is going on in the media, which is Alex Jones. And I made a video. Let me pull up my old video. Who is Alex Jones? So I personally am fully convinced that the real Alex Jones, who is Alex Jones? That the real Alex Jones was a real human male, and that he was gaining popularity. He was doing like the legitimate work of what Alex Jones is supposed to represent, and that he started becoming a problem, and that the powers that be killed and replaced him with an invert, a female pretending to be a male. And there was also some consumption of the real Alex Jones flesh. This whole concept of like consuming the energy, the essence of something, like you become what you eat, right? So the black magic concept is, if someone were to if you admired somebody's courage, let's say, then if you were into the dark arts, you might be inclined to consume their heart. If you admired their intelligence, maybe you would try to consume their mind to have that essence of what it is that you are trying to become, right? It's sick. It's black magic. And that's what happens when you eat animals too. So every time that you say bacon and you go and you continue to eat your pig butt, you're becoming what you eat. So it's no wonder that you act like a pig butt. But anyways, McWee Pop says the old Alex Jones is different. Yes, in that video, I actually have gone through to find the oldest Alex Jones footage that I could, and he's actually quite an attractive guy back in the day. And then there's like multiple replacements of him. So check out my video if you are feeling so inclined. But yes, the most often case in our world is that Multiple puppets will play one character. So Alex Jones is a character. Madonna is a character. So on and so forth. All of these are characters, and Madonna, for instance, has been swapped out many times, whether it's, maybe the original doesn't want to do it anymore. Maybe they're getting a little old and raggedy. For whatever reason, they have lookalikes, and sometimes ones that don't look alike at all, right? If they can replace somebody with someone that doesn't even look like them at all and still get humans to believe it, that is making them laugh, right? Like we are the ones in the true man and true woman show that are being watched and judged, and the enemies of humanity have a ball when we fall to their deceptions and become clowns. Yeah. So yeah, the most often case is that one character will be played by multiple different puppets, but there is a psyop going on in the truther community, that all of these different people are playing all of these different roles, and this, some people try to say, like, for instance, that Melinda Gates is Kevin Kline or Robin Williams. Okay, well, Melinda Gates is a biological male, and Robin Williams and Kevin Kline are biological females. A biological male and a biological female literally cannot be the same person. Like, it can't be, right? If it's a biological male dressed as a female, then that's a different story, but it's still a biological male at the end of the day. So a lot of these psyops are basically to discredit truthers, and especially transvestigation. I always say transvestigate first, because if you can't trust someone is the gender that they portray themselves as, you literally can't trust anything else about them. It's just, yeah. Expat Man says, interesting, I gotta watch. Yes, please do. Steven says, it's sweet, thanks going to. Yay, let me know what you guys think. We can take the conversation to Facebook after the live chat as well and discuss these things. Expat Man says, so you think they kill them, or you think they offer them a payoff first? Well, if they can corrupt you, then, I think they will try to corrupt you first and lure you onto the dark side. And if you won't do that, then they will take other means to get you to do what they want. They are really big into blackmail. So basically everything that we do online, any little tiny piece of dirt that they can get on us. Like, I know that they got a file on me a mile wide. It's hyperbole, but still. Like, they are really into blackmail. So they do blackmail, and they'll try to pay you off. They have all of the resources at their disposal, right? So they can offer you thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, whatever your specific temptation is, that's what they will come along and offer you. So yeah, it really would be case dependent on the person. But yeah, I do think that they try to manipulate you and get you under their control first, to try to lure you over into the dark side, and before they take more extreme actions. And also, to continue with that, when the inverts are killing, they don't kill themselves. They have to get real humans to kill. So they will have usually a real human male that will do the killing for them. They use real human males for sex, pornography, and killing mainly, but otherwise it's like all inverts. They're not allowed to directly kill, so they get us to kill each other, which is the reason for wars, right? All these leaders of the country, like Putin, a little girl in a dress. Well, not a girl in a dress. She doesn't wear a dress, but she should, because she's a girl. Putin and Trump, these two females, they're not even the ones that are fighting. I guess I should say Biden, whatever. Two puppets from two different countries squabbling back and forth, pretending to have animosity with each other, so that the humans that think that they need to go and fight for patriotism and for their country will go to war with each other and hate each other, instead of the two female clowns that are manipulating them. McWeepop says, do you know some Mason members? A low range at least. Sorry for my English. No need to apologize. I have met some Masons before. I I mean, I don't really have any close friends in general, but I mean, I have met some before. I even got to go on a tour of a Masonic lodge before, which was pretty interesting to see all of their, symbols and stuff on the wall and see the room that they do some of their rituals and stuff in, which was pretty fascinating. But I personally think that Freemasonry is an extremely ancient, well, it started off as a religion on the lost continent of Mu, motherland of man, which is, like America's here and Asia's here, and it was kind of in the middle there, in the Pacific Ocean, and Atlantis in the Atlantic, when Lemuria being down by Madagascar. So there's some lost continents that have been sunk, which is an interesting topic. But anyways, my point was that James Churchward goes on to talking about Freemasonry and how the inhabitants of the lost continent of Mu worshipped the grand architect of this realm. And I can see the beauty in that and how it has been infiltrated and corrupted and inverted over time. That's what Satanists do, and they've had a long time to do what they are doing, to take over. The corruption agenda didn't start off as what it is today. Like when I was growing up, there wasn't so much sex on TV, and even before me, in the I Love Lucy days, where a husband and wife didn't even sleep in the same bed together on TV, right? It's been a constant, steady drip of your leaky faucet. There's a little drip at a time to desensitize us humans to the corruption, so that we'll be slowly drawn into the darkness over time. They can't just come in and turn on the faucet, come right out of the Garden of Eden and then come right out with pedo pride and invert nonsense, right? It has to be a slow luring into the darkness to get us to where we are now. So I think that a lot of Masons have no idea what's going on at the top. They don't realize that their brotherhood has been infiltrated and corrupted, especially by inverts, or they would not be doing it. I don't believe that real humans are, for the most part, unbroken. Okay, let me just rephrase this. I don't believe that unbroken humans willingly follow and support inverted clowns. So all of these right-wing, so manly patriots with their guns, they're going to war, all this stuff. If they found out that Trump was a dickless clown, they would be out. They wouldn't. Why would they support that? It's not against having a girl in leadership by any means, but if the girl is pretending to be a boy, they think that Trump is actually a boy, and once they find out that Trump is a girl with no real aggression, she's putting on a show so that she can be your hero, put her in a boxing match with a real man and let's see who leaves with all their teeth. Let's just say that. Movie Pop says Trump's a beautiful elder woman. Yes, that's funny. Expat says, so why are inverts winning? Well, they've been running our world for thousands of years, and they control everything right now. But I wouldn't say that they are winning, because they see the writing on the wall that their time is coming to an end, and that the time of corruption is ending and the time of purification is starting. So a lot of them are getting their act together and stopping the evil that they've been participating in. And I've mentioned this a few times before, that they're inverting the situation again to where they clean up their act and stop doing evil, stop eating babies. And then humans are the ones that are still doing evil and eating babies. And then the truthers want to sit here and cry about babies being eaten while their freezers are full of innocent corpses. You're kidding me, right? You guys were smart enough to come up with flat earth, but you're not smart enough to put two and two together that your actions of enslaving other sentient beings are literally karmically consenting for you to have the same things happen to you. That's all. Another point is that the inverts are united on their New World Order mission. Look at the truther community and the people that are actually awake, and how many of them are trying to manifest the same future. Half the clowns are trying to manifest anarchy. Anarchy never lasts, okay? As soon as you have a situation where there's a vacuum of power, let me tell you, as one of these souls, we will take that vacuum of power, okay? Like, I am actively seeking power, and I will take the power, and I will use it to do what I came here to do, which is make a golden age. You don't only have to battle me. There are souls that are on both sides that are trying to battle for power, both light and dark, and just sitting here trying to manifest an anarchist state, not state as in state, but state as in condition. An anarchist state is wasting your time and energy and effort when you could be manifesting something that is realistic. Realistically, there are only two futures here. There's the New World Order that the Satanists have planned for us, and there's the Golden Age that I am proposing. That's what it is. So if truthers would jump on board and actually start manifesting the same future, instead of everyone trying to draw on the canvas their own opinions and making a just not art, making a big mess of everything, it's like that's what it takes, is us to unify, and there isn't that. So yeah, anarchy never lasts, and it never results in a golden age. You're not going to have a golden age without order and ultimately the king. And another comment on this is that hopefully they don't copyright my song for this, or my video. Humans aren't the only ones under the dome. So we're already being farmed by these other species. You think that how are humans going to get out of the situation that they're in and get into an anarchist state? Oh, please just stop eating us and let us have anarchy. Like, you really think that these human predators are going to do that? That's just so unrealistic. What I am proposing is that they are afraid and they are scared into participating into a peaceful golden age and leaving us alone. I already know that they're afraid. That's why they're getting their act together. Oh, well, if you're ruling by fear, that's evil. Okay, if I have to scare a demon into stopping doing evil, that makes me evil? I think your logic is twisted there. This person's just watching me from the back. Okay. Expat Man says, it sucks because I need their Federal Reserve notes to drink, eat, have shelter, use energy, gas, and car. They control that. They control me, unfortunately. Yeah, and that's exactly how they want it, you know? Especially going forward when they want you to be chipped and have digital currency. All of these truthers promoting Bitcoin. Like, if you want to go in and make money and get out, okay, but know what you're fueling. A cashless society means that they see everything, that they can cut you off of your money. If you don't have a high enough social score, if you went on Facebook and you said something against the overlords and you are against their cricket eating plan, then, oh, well, no crickets for you. Not that you should be eating crickets anyways. It's just really disgusting and degrading. It's bad enough that you're eating death. You're eating a rotting corpse. Now you're going to go crawl around in the grass and eat bugs. Gosh. We have some supposed truthers promoting eating bugs. I'll say Mr. E, the famous transvestigating invert herself, has a video out promoting eating grasshoppers, saying they highly recommend eating grasshoppers. And Michael XY, another famous transvestigating invert, said, oh no, Mr. E's not promoting eating bugs. How is someone going to say highly recommend and you're going to say they're not promoting it? For those who don't know, I'm actually referring to someone named Michelle XY, but I call him Michael XY because he is an obvious dude in drag. So, hey, Fornius Dope, how's it going? Plaid Panther, how are you? Looking gorgeous than ever. Oh, thank you. I hope you're holding up well. I am doing really well, thank you. I'm having a wonderful day. I'm actually in the middle, well, a little past the middle, I guess. I don't know. I don't like math. I am working on a 60-hour purification. If you guys are not in my dry fasting community, I would love for you to join dry fasting community. I host weekly group dry fasts for Sabbath dry fasting community, and in the winter we will go on and do some more longer dry fasts for healing, but it's way too hot to do like multiple day dry fasts in the summer when you're, if it's too hot and you're sweating and you have to do other things, like it becomes unsafe to dry fast because you're putting a lot of extra stress on your body. When dry fasting is already the most extreme type of healing that you can put yourself through, so adding any extra stress on top of that really is not a good idea. They usually track through cell phones and here we go. Here, expat and queen. Those random people at your concerts and in background locations can possibly be low-level gang stalkers. COINTEL program. It's part of being on their list. Yes, I am always. It's like the Truman Show. There are people around Truman that were in on it, right? That knew they were actors, so to speak. But there are agents and assets and even just inverts everywhere, especially around Mount Shasta. I've spoken before about the CIA hippie cult acid droppers up there, and I'm not saying anything against acid or I'm strictly speaking against them providing drugs to people in an unsafe environment and then not taking care of them. Like, I have a serious issue with this. I have like a very maternal and nurturing side, and like anytime that I was at a party and like one of my friends got really drunk or they're having an issue, like I go and take care of them. So to know that people are having bad experiences on the mountain and not being taken care of really, really makes me mad. Anyways. Speaking of GPS and cell phones, they work off of ground-based towers. And as far as our internet connection with other countries, there are tons of wires going along the seafloor. The satellites that we are shown, I don't want to say go Google something as cliche as that sounds, but go look up satellites in space and tell me that any one single one of those pictures is real. Please. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, anyways, I wanted to read from the Gospel of the Holy 12. This lection 43. For those of you who already don't know, the Gospel of the Holy 12 is like what changed my life, and I absolutely love this text. Hi, Faith. How are you? Hey, Queen. How are you? I am doing well. Thank you. Thank you for joining. I just wanted to read this passage from. Kyle says, we got a globe head in the chat. Where? No one has identified themselves as a globetard, but somebody just mentioned it, that the powers that be track through cell phones and GPS, and I just wanted to throw out there that GPS and cell phones are based on ground-based towers. So, yes, I knew you were talking about expat man. No worries. Other people don't. Plaid Panthers as satellites in space are just cartoons. Yes, absolutely. Sage says they are usually. Ooh, I like this song. They are usually artist depictions. Yes. Okay. Let's actually get the song. Let's get to. So a lot of people, when I talk about veganism, they will say it's not what you eat, it's not what goes in that defiles, but what comes out. And this verse, this little passage here, is what I wanted to read it. And there came unto him certain of the scribes and Pharisees who had seen one of his disciples eat with unwashed hands. So we already get the context is that they hadn't washed their hands. And these uppity priests in their little robes come over and say, why are you guys eating without washing your hands? Like, okay. And they found fault, for the Jews eat not, except they have first washen their hands, and many other things observe they in the washing of cups and of vessels and of tables. So they have all of these other human rituals that go along with eating, and these scribes and Pharisees are saying, Why aren't your disciples following along with our traditions? Huh? Always trying to find fault. And they said, why walk not all thy disciples after the traditions of the elders? For we saw one who did eat with unwashed hands. And Christ said, well hath Moses commanded you to be clean and to keep your bodies clean and your vessels clean. But ye have added things which oft times cannot be observed by everyone at all times and in all places. What if you're out in the middle of the desert and there is no water? Are you going to not eat because you couldn't wash your hands? You think that God's really going to have a problem with you eating whatever you had to eat because you didn't wash your hands? Like, really? We thankfully our God is a righteous judge and sees the bigger picture. He not only sees the situation that we're in, but also he's seen us our whole lives. He knows like all of the temptations that we have, all of the programming that we've been under, all of the different influences that we have been under to essentially get us to act the way that we do, right? So even when we're doing sinful things, it's like he has a way bigger picture than us, and I'm really thankful for that, because a lot of people want to make God seem like a very unrighteous judge. And even the concept of saying that one sin is not greater than another, like, are you really going to try to tell me that telling a little fib to your mom is an equal sin as someone sodomizing a child? Whatever judge you're going to, they need to be removed. That's what I would say. Hearken unto me, therefore, not only things entering into the body of man defile the man. So you heard what that says. Not only unclean things entering in will defile you, but much more do evil thoughts and unclean, which pour from the heart of man, defile the inner man and defile others also. Therefore, take heed to your thoughts and cleanse your hearts, and let your food be pure. Like I already said, you become what you eat. So this whole concept of I can eat whatever I want and it's not going to harm me in any way is like, lace up those clown shoes, buddy, because you have no idea what you're talking about. Everything that you put in your body is going to use as building blocks to you're either in a state of feasting and your body is building up, or you're in fasting and your body is clearing house and trying to clean out the junk that you've been putting in. And if you're in a state of constant feasting, your body's in a state of constant growing and never dealing with any of the toxins. It's like an overload on your body. Your body's like, whoa, dude, give me a break. Three plus meals a day of this really heavy things, especially flesh. It's like they want to rave about how great these complex proteins in meat are. It's like, your body wants simple proteins, okay? So when you eat an apple, you're eating simple proteins. Your body can go right to work with building with those blocks. When you go and eat a steak, your body has to break down all of those complex proteins into simple proteins and then start to build. So it is no wonder why eating flesh prematurely ages and kills you. Not only the physical mechanisms of it, but the karmic mechanisms. You think that you're going to live a long life in the land when you go around slicing the throats of every other being that you want to taste their flesh? Expat-Man says that God's cool. I don't pray. I pray I don't get recycled to this hellhole they call Earth after I pass. I personally believe that we choose to come here. And if all of the souls that are fighting for the light say, screw that, we're not going back to fight, then what's going to happen? We're going to end up with a world of darkness until Sophia eventually doesn't want to be this world anymore, and there's no physical existence. And I personally am very invested in that not happening, because without this physical reality, souls are going to be bored to death again, like it already happened before this world came into existence, where there's not much to do outside of this realm. And when you're an all-powerful being and you've been around for a while, you've done everything, it's like the most fun thing that you can do is get your mind wiped and go back into this world and forget all of that for a little bit and have this experience again that you don't remember having before. So as much as I am frustrated with this world, I know my soul will come back. I personally can't give up, because if I give up, just like the same, hey, Akshar, happy birthday! was late today. Had a small party with some friends here. I hope that it went really well for you and that you are having a good time for your birthday. Kyle says eating honeydew right now. Oh man, that sounds really tasty. I haven't had honeydew for a while. I might have a salad later today because yesterday I was craving an apple so bad, and the little gluttonous demon is like, well, an apple is purifying. You're doing a purification ritual, so you could certainly have an apple, right? Like, all right, Satan. I can feel the Garden of Eden serpent like, hey Eve, you want an apple? anyways, what I was saying, expat man, your soul probably has likely already said that you won't want to come back here, and yet here you are. So I'm sure that the watchers that watch us time after time again, and then we're like, we're never coming back in here again. Then 10 minutes later, we're back into the same thing again. They're like, yeah, you said that. You've said that every time that you've gone in there. So Expat Man says, I agree with that, Queen. Yeah, this place is cool for souls. Well, on the next go round, I hope I'm the ignorance is bliss camp for life. Oh, for life? You would really want to die as a globetard? Like, oh my gosh, being a globetard temporarily is bad enough, but actually dying as one, like, oh, I would actually like to go again and see how fast I can wake up again. I remember seeing something about flat earth like in middle school, but I never pursued it. So it would have been kind of interesting to see if I had woken up like in middle school to flat earth truth. But at the same time, I would have alienated people a lot sooner, so it probably would have been good. That being said, I never really focused too much on investing, especially in high school relationships, because we're all going to graduate and go our separate ways and most likely never see each other again. Like, I haven't seen half the people that I went to college with in over 10 or high school with in over 10 years. So, yeah, I mainly had the example of my parents, and they really never went out with friends or put so much of an investment into friends. And I really appreciate that because they put that investment into us instead. They were really focused on family rather than friends. And finding friends in this world is hard anyways, because for me, well, my standard is friends. Like, you got to have a certain amount of like, you have to be vegan. Like, I don't hang out with people in real life. Like, I'm not going to go and eat with people. Just like my closest friends are vegan. I don't know. And yeah, I think that friends kind of are for holding each other to standards and accountability, and not what the world defines friends as. So Kyle says, happy birthday, Akshar. Woohoo. Sage said, best birthday wishes, brother. Yay. Akshar, did you decide what temple you're going to go to today? Kyle says, I'd rather reincarnate with the truth than without it. Plaid Panther says, I feel exactly the same, Inanna. Yay. I'm glad that some of our souls already know, if we stop coming here, then the darkness is going to take over. And I can't even, like, as horrible as this world can be, the ups and downs, mainly the downs, like, I wouldn't want to give up the opportunity of never getting to, like, fall in love and have a baby and go through all of that, like, fun stuff that you don't have outside of this world. So it's like, it would be a really big sacrifice for this reality to stop existing, with no guarantee that one will come into existence afterwards. So from what I know, Sophia was the first and only soul to make herself into physical form. There are, in the cosmic ocean of ether, when we are not limited by human limitations, we're not limited by, I almost said maternal, I guess that would actually be, would be quite true, because Mother Earth doesn't allow it, right? Maternal limitations in this physical matter. There can be, worlds created, but they're not physical. So yeah, there's been things like it, but nothing that is exactly like it. And like I said, there's no guarantee that any other soul would be created into physical matter if this ended. So sad. Pod Panthers said, oh wait, Sage said I would choose to return to the physical for chess. I completely agree. Even though I do believe that our souls have played chess since before this physical reality even came into existence. It would be pretty cool to be able to play chess without the human, limitations, and with full remembrance of everything that your soul's ever been through. Like, that would be really cool. Unstoppable. Okay. Black Panther says that friends are few, fickle, far between, and can only be counted on to let you down. Well, that is definitely a depressing way to look at that. Thankfully, I'm not there. But yes. Sage said an original temple where the art is real knots. Ooh, that'd be pretty cool. MW says, greetings from Holland. Hello, Holland. How's it going? Plaid Panther says, damn, Anana, I miss family, love, babies, all that too. Why is that an anomaly now? Well, that is not what is being promoted by society and our culture, you know? What's being promoted is for women to go and join the corporate ladder and climb really high, and you wouldn't want any parasites in your body, would you? I hate that, calling babies parasites, and I get really fired up about abortion. But anyways, family, love, babies, all of it, none of it is promoted in this loveless, godless society that we are living in. Actually, you went to an orphanage instead, insert. Oh, that is so precious. I love kids, and that is so sweet of you to do something like that on your birthday. I'm sure that made you feel really good. Like, that is really awesome. Expat says, Team Darkness seems to pay really well in this world. Not fair. Yes, definitely. They literally print money, so money isn't a thing for them. They control all of the resources. It's nothing for them. And as far as fair goes, I'm not really sure that life is fair in general, but then again, there is a balance, justice scales that there are karmic repercussions for the things that we do. And yeah. Ex-Hotman says, I can't afford a family, sorry. That's understandable in this world, and anybody that wants to have a family in this current situation is crazy anyways, because this world is not a safe place for babies, and my computer sucks. There we go. I believe that the tribulation has already started with COVID being pestilence, the beginning of the ride of pestilence, if you will, and lots of different agendas to depopulate us, whether it's with sicknesses, and then using 5G to help lower the immune system and create this environment where viruses can thrive. Obviously, wearing masks and the jabs go right along with the depopulation agenda to hurt you, to weaken your immune system. The poisoning of everything, food, water, air, famine, all of these things, war on the horizon, all of these fake wars that they want us to pay attention to, Ukraine and whatever war is going on today that I haven't been paying attention to. The leaders of these worlds are just pretending to squabble to kill humans off. And the faster that people wake up to that, the better off we will all be. Plaid Panther says, I can't believe woke leftists are trying to rename women birthing persons. Like, what? I hate how they have tried to steal being woke or awake and demonized it. Is like, if you're truly awake, you're not going to be saying birthing persons. You're going to say, if you're truly awake, you're going to say, no, women are the only ones who can give birth. And you guys that think that you can have mental illness that you need to seek help for. Someone who's asleep, on the other hand, is going to feed right into it and go along with the agendas, So it's another inverted thing that really quite irritates me. Plaid Panther says that, yeah, I think the birth pangs and tribulation has definitely started. Agreed. Yes. Kyle says we need to raise warriors of truth in this darkness, safe or not. Yes, I agree. For those who already have children and are raising them, they definitely do need to raise them to be warriors. But I'm not sure where all of the warrior parents are these days. Truthers want to say that they are warriors, but they're also constantly feeding into the New World Order with their diets. So it's like you want to say that you're standing against the New World Order while your action, you post some memes on Facebook, great, but do you really think that that is counteracting your meals that you eat 3+ times a day to fight the New World Order? It's silly. Egyptian Desire, hey, how's it going? Hey, Queen. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I have a live audience today behind me. Anyways. What else is going on in the world today? Anybody? Anybody have anything interesting to say? I just got a message from somebody. I am not looking forward to dealing with that drama. Oh my gosh. Plaid Panther says no, they are standing against the New World Order, voting for old Trump. LOL. That is too funny. Yes. I still can't wrap my mind around the fact that it's like one of the first things that you learn when you wake up is that presidents are all selected, not elected. So that should be like a fundamental truth. Yet somehow people are convinced that Trump somehow weaseled her way in and is different, even though literally every president since Washington has been a female and every first laddie has been a male. All the way through. From Washington to Biden. All of them. Every single one. But somehow Trump is different. Kyle, you can definitely send the rain over here as long as it doesn't give me power issues. That's funny. I kind of want to see. There's some. There's been fires going. Fire season, wildfire season, of course, right on time. There was a pretty decent size of fire up by Wairika, and my phone didn't even alert me that there was a fire danger until like days later. I'm like, wow, thanks. I'm glad I didn't need that for an emergency purpose. What was I in here? California wildfire map. I was having internet issues yesterday, and I tried to call my internet service provider and was on the phone with them for over an hour before they transferred me to another company who wanted to charge me over $100 to get my computer connected it to the Wi-Fi. It was like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to spend $100 on getting this connected when the internet service provider needs to fix it in the first place. So frustrating. Anyways, I just don't know why that triggered it, but I was trying to find a wildfire map to see what the situation is here with. It's kind of ironic that they're playing a song that says "Let It Burn" when I'm looking at wildfire maps. Why isn't this working? Anyways, the McKinney fire. I posted some. This is really all the farther that it zooms. There we go. Anyways, you can look up. Here's a active wildfire map if anybody is interested in seeing what's going on. They're lighting the world on fire. These songs are making me want to sing today. This is not really a good environment for me to live stream for the future. Okay. Very distracting. Sage, I hope you stub your toe for that. That's so mean. Sage, how's your camp coming along? Expat says, I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that nuclear energy / war is probably a hoax, just as well as hundreds of tons of jet fuel in the small wings of jets. Absolutely, I agree that nukes are a hoax. And fire bombs are real, but not nukes as they say. And yes, the jet fuel hoax is really quite interesting how airplanes actually use frequency levitation to fly rather than having this tons and tons of fuel that they say is supposedly being carried on the plane when there's not even room in the plane for all of this fuel. It's just ridiculous. But I think I might have spoken about this in my video on the laws of absolutism. No. I think I might have spoken about levitation and frequency magic in this. So let me see. Laws of absolutism. In contrast to the laws of relativity, law of relativity, whatever, which is absolute malarkey. Plaid Panther, what is so good about Linux or whatever you call it? I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, I'm nervous to switch anything on my computer because I like the way that it functions now, and I know that if I try to mess with it, some curse will probably come and it'll mess up my computer. So, no log cabin yet. LOL. No chisel or saw. It's really peaceful though. That sounds really nice. No chisel or saw. You need to get one. Axar says, I've never seen a wildfire in my life. Hardly ever happens here. I just saw that link and wow. Some of you already know that last year the lava fire was right across from my house. Let me pull up this video. Okay, so it was like 1 o'clock in the morning and I heard what I thought were flares because I am not familiar with fusees as they are called, which are used by the fire people to set fires for controlled burns. And so just some backstory. I was in an evacuation zone. So I'm like, if my house is going to get burnt down, I'm going to stay here and put it out. Like, my house is not the priority of any of these fire people. They are focused on other things, not my house. So I'm going to focus on my house. But anyways, so I was doing daily updates from my area of the lava fire. I got to see it up close and personal and definitely helped to reduce my fear of wildfires pretty much completely. Sorry, there's lava fire. Anyways, so they were setting off these fusees at like 1 in the morning, and I'm like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, I see things happening, and then there's a lot more fire going on. So in this video, I actually went across the street, and I was kind of sneaking into the area that I wasn't supposed to be in, and really quite up and personal with the fire, as comfortable as I felt like I could get without getting in trouble. Like, I didn't want to get in trouble for interfering with emergency business while these firefighters are sitting around enjoying the forest burning, right? They're sitting around joking and they're not worried at all. But, if they had found me, I probably would have been in legal trouble. Hey, Derek, how's it going? Hi, Anana. A bumblebee majority flies from vibration and frequency. Absolutely. Bumblebees and hummingbirds both fly off of frequency levitation. And that is the same as airplanes. So, yeah, it's pretty cool how technology is related to different aspects of creation and using the same principles that our creator used to create these other things. So, very, very cool. Sage says the loggers just leave tons of dry fuel around, then the fire department says not to burn it, right? They say it's part of the. Oh, Kyle, I see your comment saying bees levitate. Yes, they leave a lot of fallen stuff in the forest, and Yeah, it's really not taken care of properly, and the whole situation's just engineered so that wildfire season can happen. That's kind of as far as I want to get into the conspiracy stuff when there are fires close to me, because it's a really touchy subject and people get really upset. They don't want the truth. They don't. I was just about to say they don't want to know that we live in a completely controlled reality, and these things are happening on purpose for a reason. Um, Engineered to create fear porn. Not only just fear porn, but to drive humans out, to cause devastation, to cause the chaos that they need to bring about their new world order, right? An interesting thing is that there was a map leaked by the U.S. Navy a while back, and one of the reasons why I put credit in it is because the Navy are the people that need to know where the land meets the sea, right? So it came from them, and it shows both of the coastlines, like completely different. Mount Shasta having a little bit of a coastline as well, which I'm smiling about because I would really love to go to the beach right now. But yeah, it's kind of like they're burning the area and getting humans out, and in a way that would kind of lessen their karmic consequences for just sending a flood. If they used fire to kind of push them out first, and then the flood went, and then no one got killed, kind of like, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the future, but they're always trying to manipulate like that, create situations where it's like, well, we set the fires to get you out of the space before the flood came, so we're your heroes. Like, shut up. Anyways, Derek says, LOL, they can't handle the truth. Sometimes the truth is painful. Finding out that all of the people that you've ever like idolized or even lusted after on TV, like finding out they're all inverts, finding out that all of the porn that you've been watching is actually dude on dude porn, and that's why they're all pulled to sodomy and really disgusting things, like, that hurts. That's going to hurt somebody's ego, especially when they find out that they're being watched by the spiritual world. Like, not only were you just masturbating over, I listed the T word, over invert, but you were being watched and laughed at the whole time. But yeah, truth can definitely be painful and hard to accept, but it's definitely better than being in ignorance and being those people who are still under the influence and spell of these clowns that they don't realize are inverts. I admit that some of my childhood binding is definitely still there. If I met Kat Von D in real life, I would have a hard time not being starstruck, even though I know what Kat is. It's hard for me to even talk about what Kat is because of the binding that I have to Kat. So I know very, very well how it works, and that kind of leads me to talking about Tom McDonald, I think is their name, one of these musicians that is putting out truther music. They do this kind of stuff to bind themselves to us, right? You click on their music and then you listen to it, and now you're like, oh, I like this person. So something might come out that this person has done something absolutely horrible, and you're way less likely to do anything about it, right? Like I said, I'm heavily bound to Kat, and I admit that I don't know how to not be. Like, it's not just this lifetime, so it's kind of a situation that I'm having internal struggles with. But my point is that if Kat showed up in front of me, like, I would have an inkling to protect Kat, whereas Taylor Swift, off with their head. Like, I have no, like, I actually have a dislike for Taylor Swift, or should I say Tyler Swift, male. But that alone can show you an example of, like, if they are our favorites, we're going to be having a harder time to say off with their heads when we find out that they are these deceiving, child abusing clowns, right? Expat Man says doesn't count because I was tricked my whole life. Well, technically it does count because it always counts. Actually, I first heard of Kat when she was, oh, okay. You can't call her she because Kat was like really, I first saw Kat on LA Inc. and they just were like this picture of like this really down to earth, chill girl, like tattoos I find really sexy. So just like I really idolized Kat. Kat was like the reason that I have a love for classical music, classical piano. Um, yeah, so I have some really serious binding going on there, and it's not easy to get over. That being said, I'm at a struggle constantly because I find tattoos attractive, but I know that they're not good for us, not good physically, not good for the soul, especially when they're not vegan. They have all these heavy metals and poisonous coloring inks, and all this stuff. So um, Tom McDonald pretends to be an American in her music. She is Canadian. Interesting. I actually specifically have a fond memory of Tom because a friend was showing me their music video on Mount Shasta when we were gathered around this campfire. And at this point in the night, these other people, I was convinced that they were inverts and they were really, really irritating the snot out of me. So I like the video. I was just like, oh, that looks like a T word, and then Tom McDonald said something about if they cut their body parts off, blah blah blah, and identify as a woman. I'm just like, that's hilarious. I was just about to say that this looks like a girl, and this person was like, you're a transphobe, and I was like, I am not okay with deception, and I like things the way that God made them. Well, are you against gay people too? Like, I would not be okay with my son being pounded in the butt, would you? Like, that's terrible. And she said, well, yeah, if that's what he's into. I'm like, what is wrong with you that you are broken in that manner? I'd be absolutely mortified if my child got broken into that behavior. Like, I would want to kill us all. Oh no, are most of my favorite DJs FTMs? Yeah, anyone famous is gonna be an invert. Even like social media influencers, all of these, like, that's why I'm always showing off my hips, so that if I was on the other side of the screen, I would be like, show me your biomarkers, because I don't even want to listen to you unless I know for sure that you're a real human. Like, let alone invest any time, just being in your presence. I don't know. Plaid Panther says Tom McDonald saw a market, went after it, capitalized on it, now banks off that market. I would not credit Tom with that genius of seeing the market or anything. I would definitely say that Tom's been groomed her whole life. We call her Tammy McDonald. Tammy's been groomed and was set up for the role that she's played, just like all of the famous sports stars, all of the famous chess stars, all of the famous any famous one in Satan's world. They've all been groomed for their roles. They've all been inverted from birth. That's how the demons get in, and well, one of many ways that demons get in. But once you start to invert yourself, then when Patrick becomes Patricia, then Patrick's the real human soul, and Patricia is the demon that has stepped in to use Patrick's vehicle as its own vehicle. Expat Man says, Queen, the Bible says we are not supposed to tattoo the flesh. Yeah, so I personally don't follow the Bible. That being said, I know that tattoos are not good for us, but I can't help the fact that I find them really attractive. Like, how am I supposed to deal with it? I can't control what I find attractive. Like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, when you tattoo, you're not just affecting the flesh, you are infecting, you are affecting your soul as well. So, like I've said before, the physical and the flesh are intertwined. So if I were to, take a piece of my flesh and put it into a dish, a part of my soul is going with that. So like this lab grown meat, right? They're using chicken cells to grow meat. Well, that chicken cell came from a chicken, and that chicken's soul is being used and abused in all of those times that it's, whatever they're using it for, right? That poor soul is being stuck under that state of used and abused torture, like for however long they decide to use it, rather than just having one chicken and its life ending for normal chicken consumption, behaviors. It's actually way worse if you are kind of putting together what I'm saying. Like, I don't support either one. I don't believe that a chicken should have to die for you to have a meal. Like, go and eat some grass, you clown. Obviously, grass is not the most fulfilling and nutritional thing, but like, why do you think that you are more important that an animal should die for you? Have you not heard of like an apple or plants? Like, you can't just go and eat an apple. You're so superior to that animal that you need to go and slice its throat and then tear its body apart and then eat it. What's wrong with you? That's deranged. I don't know. I have a sick memory of being with my ex, and I never really like cooked too much before I was with him, and then when I was with him, then I started to cook a lot. And well, I wouldn't say a lot, but chicken and dumplings was like one of the things that I loved to make and that everybody loved to eat. And I just remember having to take the little clumps of meat and like cutting out the tendons and the fat off. Oh my gosh, like I just lost my appetite even thinking about this stuff. I don't even know how somebody could actually kill the animal and then take it and then dismember it and deal with all the blood and guts and still want to eat. Like, I think that that's really deranged and demonic behavior that you have to be influenced into. Like, no child is going to, you have a deer and the child's not going to like think to shoot the deer, eat the deer. It's like, that's not their natural instinct. They have to be broken into it by their parents, by society, especially this whole hunter community of what is this? Let me oh, 1 second. There's like a really funny hunters are psychopaths. No, there was oh man, I don't know where this thing went. Here we go. Hunting linked to why'd that just leave me? Come on. Hunting linked to psychosexual inadequacy in the 5 phases of a hunter's life of sexual frustration. It's quite funny that they have this article. Hunters are, I was gonna say something that would probably get me banned from Facebook. I'll just leave it that hunters are. I was gonna say homosexual, but anyways. Sage says why they are stranded on an island with a chicken for no good reason. A chicken is on a deserted island and no plans, right? If you were on, I love that meme that says, if you were stranded on an island with a pig, what would you do? And the person says, probably be having a more intelligent conversation than this. Like, what a stupid. I actually already, through my journey, I started out in the Bible and I did the whole unclean and clean meats. The Bible says not to eat pig, for instance. And so I stopped eating pig. Not that I really ate pig before. But anyways, my aunt was like, what if, you were starving and God sent you a pig? I'm like, I would see it as an actual test, like him tempting me and seeing, are you going to continue to the promise that you made me, or are you going to go ahead and eat this pig just because your tummy's growling? Like, I know that I'm being watched and judged. So for me, it's better for me to just go hungry for a little bit more than to do something that compromises my morals. And like I said, if I was stuck on a deserted island with a pig, like how would I even kill it? I don't. How would I kill it? How would I don't even know how to take an animal apart, like and prepare the things to eat. Like I'm thankful to not know that. That's not something that I want in my mind. It makes me want to puke. Like Joseph says, animals eat each other. Oh, isn't that just so sweet? Should we all just act like lions in the wild and just willy-nilly go kill and eat and rape and do pillage whatever we want just because animals in the wild do it? Remember that next time that you go to the supermarket and you buy that perfectly packaged flesh that you didn't do anything for besides for go to the supermarket. Like, stop comparing yourself to an animal when you are not an animal. There's a major flaw preventing you from reality. Your scope is not accurate. Oh, well, the last thing that I'm going to do is take any advice from somebody who literally puts the flesh of innocence in their mouths because you're a clown. Somebody kick this clown out. Don't judge me. Oh. Enjoy your time out, Joseph. I'm going to judge you as long as you are doing evil. If you don't want me to judge you, first of all, don't even come into the chat. Like, nobody even knew, A, that you existed, or B, that you were defending eating animals. So if you didn't want me to judge you, then you should have just sat in silence. That doesn't make any logical sense that you would chime in and then say, oh, don't judge me, while you're defending consuming the flesh and soul of the innocent. So that's just like a pedophile saying that they are a pedophile and then saying, don't judge them. Like, you are literally hurting innocent beings and you want me to not judge you? Like, don't eat innocence. Then you won't be judged negatively for doing the evil that you're being judged for. Hey, Views, how's it going? Veganism, that's all it says. Plaid Panther says, I'll never forget when I walked in on a deer being gutted in a garage. All pieces hanging up, rib cage open, blood splattered, guts. Looked like a horror movie as a kid. Wow, that sounds traumatizing. Oh. Yeah. Thankfully, I've never seen like any of that in real life. And nowadays, it would make me cry. Like, there's this cliche of vegans crying about things, but it's like, if you had a heart, if you were connected to your sense of compassion, you would be crying too. How would you feel if you walked up to somebody slicing the throat of a dog? Are you just going to be smiling, happy in rainbows?
Would you consider lowering your voice just a little bit? I appreciate it.
Are you going to, what was I even saying? I'm not going to continue to lower my voice. I was here first. What was I even saying? It's really funny. I don't even believe that's a real band. So don't come over here and talk to me. What were we talking about? Oh, cliches of vegan being crybabies. Yeah, it's like if there was a dog being kicked or abused in front of you, would you just sit there with rainbows and smiles on? Like, that makes no sense. That means that you're a psychopath. Plaid Panther says, LOL, Anana, you are a legend. Yes, that's funny. Anana, are there aliens under Mount Shasta? Aliens, to me, are interdimensional entities that are demonic. And they are in lots of places. But underneath us, there are other species that we are told don't exist. Specifically underneath Mount Shasta, there is a high-speed subway system that takes you to all different places over the earth. Like, it's a really popular nexus point for that, and obviously a powerful portal for entities to enter and exit our realm through. It's not a volcano. It's not just a mountain. She actually once was a giant tree, so that's pretty cool. Plaid Panther says, dogs know if you've eaten dog flesh. They don't like or trust you if you've eaten dog meat. Interesting. I kind of wonder, you got to be curious about what kind of meat people are actually eating when you're not the one that's, doing it all yourself, especially since we are being lorded over by psychopaths that want to get us to eat disgusting things, and even human flesh. Like there's been human flesh found in McKid burgers, and yeah. Black Panther. Oh wait, that was said. Oh, you learned this traveling to a third world. That's interesting. I think that animals in general, especially wild animals, don't have a sense of, or they do have a sense of, ability to tell if the person that is there is coming in peace or not. Specifically, if you eat animals or if you are coming as a vegan peacefully to interact with them, I fully believe that they can sense that. And I've really wanted to interact with a lion for a really long time since I knew that. So Derek says, LOL, you are getting passionate. Yes, I was getting really fired up. Hi, Full White, how's it going? We're having a great day here. Just laughing at this person in the background. That's fine. I might head out of here soon. I am craving a salad again, which I guess is way better than craving anything that's not raw, vegan, and corrupting. So, yeah. Full White, you two what? What are you talking about? So scan on there. Let's see if there's anything. No, not happening. All right, I think I'm going to get off of here, and I will catch up with you guys next week on Sunday, same time, probably not the same place. I don't have to deal with people trying to interrupt my live stream for their 5 minutes of fame. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Akshar, I hope that you have a wonderful birthday and safe travels, and everybody else, have a wonderful week. May God and the Goddess bless you.